All right. Okay, good evening. We're finally back. As mentioned, we were going to stream this today, but I feel like we're at a very good point to actually start wrapping this outline up because this should be only seen as an introductory narrative about Tatari. We could go deeper, but things get convoluted once you go deeper into the Nasuverse. So for now, we'll just keep this as an introductory narrative for Tatari. So let's put a conclusion down. I already got a quote I'm going to use, but let's do a conclusion. Then we'll look at the sections that we have. Then the next time I actually stream this, we'll start with the narrative. Again, this is probably gonna be like a 10-minute video. We're not gonna go like that crazy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Conclusion. What do we want to do? So let's bring back the focus back to the core idea. To the core idea. Hakari. Taki is what happens when people's fears, rumors, rumors and expectations gain weight. Pretty much don't, yeah. And step into reality. So bring back the focus to the core idea. Tatsu is what happens when people's fears, rumors, and expectations gain weight and step into reality. So let's highlight how Wallachia, Sion, all Shions. We gotta be specific because there's literally 3 of them. Sion, Vishion, and Dust of Osiris. Alter egos. Again, we have to be all specific with this one. I like how Wallachia, all Shions, and the alter egos, pretty much the majority of the characters on the select screen. Right side and Melty Blood actress again. Show the same pattern. Show the same pattern. Show the same pattern. The more people believe in something, the harder it becomes to ignore. Something to ignore. And as I mentioned before, depending on the rumor, yikes. Because if it's Warp, yeah, good luck. Nero, definitely good luck. Roa, what are you gonna do? You literally can't die. Alright. Highlight how Wallachia, all Shions, Shion, whatever you want to call her, in the alter egos, pretty much the majority of the characters on the right side of the screen and Melty Blood actions again show the pattern. The more people believe in something, the harder it becomes until it manifests. And again, it's the majority of the characters on the right side, minus a couple of people like Ryogi, which was a guest character. Reese being a very special case. CL's there for whatever reason. Coma may or may not be the actual Coma, but he's most likely a Tatari avatar. Alright, so fuck. I do not have, where is my phone? Okay. I wrote that quote down earlier. Okay. The food. He is. Himself to be. Okay. Man is not what he is, but what he imagined himself to be. So the reason why this Tatsuri is literally shaped by human imagination. And like I said this time and time again, if Tatsuri was in like a place or a different media that's based off of rumors, like Yumi Neko and Rokinjima, yeah, good luck. Well, actually would have a field day over there. Rumors of a witch? Oh, let's go. So, man is not what he is, but what he imagines himself to be. So the reason why it's worse is how she's literally shaped by human imagination. So, and people have a very creative imagination, that's for sure. So what people picture, as I mentioned before, with my examples with Nania, killer that's going around killing people at night with a knife. There you go. Or kind of extreme, a wild animal going around mauling people in grotesque manners. Wild animal, hey, it could be one of Nero's beasts. It gets pretty crazy. What people picture, fear, or talk about becomes the thing that manifests in the darkness. Yeah, we cheeky in the dark. I'm allowed to be at least sassy per stream. Okay, I think that's good. I really do think that's good. Alright, so bring back the focus to the core idea. Tatari is what happens when people's fears, rumors, and expectations gain weight and step into reality. Highlight how Wallachia, every single Sion, and the alter egos, pretty much the majority of the characters on the select screen on the right side and Melty Blood actions again, show the pattern. The more people believe in something, the harder it becomes until it manifests. Include Carl Jung's quote, man is not what he is, but what he imagines himself to be. So the reason why this works, this specific quote, is because Tatari is literally shaped by human imagination. So what people fear, talk, picture, fear, or talk about becomes the thing that manifests in the dark. So pretty much don't talk, don't yap. Alright, so let's just see what we have so far. Am I gonna read all this? No, I'm not. Okay, just as a... Oh yeah, we're going to use this quote as well. Humans think in stories, and we are trapped in them. Again, don't yap. So Tatari is not a living being or a conventional villain. It's a phenomenon that manifests when human fear, rumor, and collective belief becomes known. Wallachia served as the most infamous anchor, and later Sion Eltnam Altasia becomes linked through her vampirism, showing how Tatari spreads. It also manifests as a rumor-born form, such as alter ego characters in Melty Blood, reflecting that its existence depends on the narrative and belief rather than physical or magical mechanics. I guess we can do this. We'll read this. Just so I can make sure this is what we're going to do. Okay, so we need to make sure we are following just Melty Blood games. So OG up to Melty Blood actually get 1.07. No Lumina, no FGO, no Undernight. No FGO because you have a good ending Sion there. I can't believe they really put her in there with Twin Tails and classes. Yeah, y'all sassy. And Undernight, obviously, Eltnam isn't Undernight. To add on that, we need to focus on the Sion that's the MC in the original games because Sion is the original main character in Melty Blood up until version 1.07. In Lumina, it's, I guess, between Arcueid and Tohno, I guess, if you want to be cute about it. Lumina's weird. We can't use outside media because they are never consistent, and they buff Sion and give her feats that she can never do, such as her. I'll get into detail later about that. It should be known that Vanilla Sion is quite literally Batman. She needs prep to fight or somewhat hang with people. Vanilla Sion scales to at least demons, Akia and Koma. Akia would gatekeeper. Anyone below Akia is fair game. We have to remember that Sion is indeed still a vampire. She is heavily weakened. She represses her vampiric impulses. Also, remember, Walacha took a massive amount of her blood from her. Be Sion Sprite, especially in OG Melty Blood. Not the Atroph Again one. The Atroph Again one's not as bad as Sion Sprite, especially her OG, reflects this weakened state. So whenever she's in the area of the Night of Walacha, her impulses go berserk and she craves blood. So in this weakened state, she would have difficulty once she gets to the upper echelon of Tsukihime characters. And like I mentioned again, like the Melty Blood manga gave Sion crazy feats in order just to hang with people. Because we all know how the Mystic Eyes of Depth Perception works. He pokes you. He pokes you in that specific spot. Your entire existence gets like destroyed. What happened to Roa? But if he cuts the lines, whatever happened to Arcueid when Nadia chopped her up would happen to Sion. Tohno in the manga cut Sion with the knife while his glasses were off. So Mystic Eyes of Depth Perception is active, but no, Sion did not get chopped up into little tiny pieces. I'm like, okay, sure, alright. Then she used her Etherlight as a replacement for her central nervous system. I'm like, oh, fuck you. Oh, sure. What is Section 1? What is Tatari? So Tatari is a phenomenon, not a living being. Tatari is a supernatural effect caused by human fear and rumors. Temporarily appear. It manifests during specific periods, lasting one night, then dissipates until it returns. A reality-altering effect. Tatari reshapes circumstances to reflect the strongest collective anxieties of the population. So the stronger the rumor, the stronger the person is going to be. Manifestations through rumor-born forms. It creates temporary avatars, such as the alter egos in Melty Blood, which are reflections of human belief rather than independent beings. Host. Wallachia. We're not going to go into it. Sion / Dust of Osiris. Host provides temporary form. While the phenomenon is independent, a host allows Tatari to interact with the physical world and observers a concrete base to associate with it. Host Tatari. Manifestations of an avatar doesn't grant full control. The phenomenon still operates according to the rumor and belief rather than the host's will. So again, I'm kind of repeating myself over here, so we don't really need to say it. Again, we're repeating this. So Sion is a vampire. I gotta keep on repeating that, because I've gotten into arguments about people about this. She represses her impulses. V-Sion is a representation of those impulses. So if a Tatari version of V-Sion dies, that doesn't kill the actual one that's being repressed by the actual one being repressed by Sion. Yikes. By this logic, and I mentioned this in that Tohno video I did a while back, Nanya is the original self of Shiki Tohno and is dormant inside of him. So Tatari Nanya is a representation of him, but his death doesn't affect his counterpart, which is still dormant inside Tohno. It should be noted that Tatari Nanya is a special case depending on certain circumstances. The White Lens ending in Melty Blood Actions Again, she's able to keep him around even after the events of the game, kind of like a familiar. I still feel really uncomfortable about that, but it's just the way they did that ending does not work. Reed's wife is a very special situation. While she was consumed by the Night Olachi before the events of Tsukihime / Melty Blood, she's a separate entity compared to the rest. Her physical form was consumed, but her weapon was able to keep her essence / spirit alive. Her weapon is inside the Night Olachi and can't be destroyed. She is operating under all the specific rules to the rest of the Tatari avatars. Of course, if the Night Olachi / Tatari event goes, then she goes with it. Due to the power of God, which is Nazu giving Sion a buff, she's able to keep Riz around by giving her half of her magic circuit. So kind of in a master familiar role. Because again, Sion gets buffed for whatever reason. Again, we already I'm not going to go over that one because we already talked about this one. Because again, this is just rumors. So canonical events, pretty much the original Melty Blood, the Night Olachi. Let's see. Limits and weaknesses. Depends on the rumor. Tatari can't manifest without widespread fear, belief, or rumor. So if the collective narrative weakens, Tatari cannot take form. Remember that. Requires an anchor to appear, such as Wallachia and Dust of Osiris. Without an anchor, Tatari is not an active event. Short, fixed duration. Tatari's existence is temporary and limited to one night, most infamously the Night of Wallachia. Can't independently act without its source. Tatari can't override the content of the rumor driving it. It can only reflect and materialize. So, using Tatari Nanya as an example, he is bound by the shape of the human belief of the rumor. So if there's a rumor of a killer going around killing people with a knife, then he has to fulfill that rumor. Why Tatari matters in the Nasuverse? Because again, a lot of people don't know about this because a lot of people didn't play Melty Blood. And a lot of people don't know Melty Blood is a spin-off of Tsukihime. And a lot of people didn't even read Tsukihime. According to some people, fate is the only thing inside the Nasuverse. It's actually hilarious. But anyways, embodies the weight of... So why Tatari matters in the Nasuverse? Embodies the weight of human belief. Perception shapes reality. Tatari shows how rumors, fears, and stories gain supernatural force when shared by the masses. It explains the dangers of imagination. Tatari weaponizes what the community believes to be true. Depending on the scope of this could have a dramatic effect depending on the rumor. For example, a rumor based on Warg would be devastating because Warg is literally... Let me rephrase this. Warg in Melty Blood prior to Lumina is batshit crazy. The one in Lumina is just a mildly annoyed Arcueid. But yeah, the one in the old Melty Blood games, yeah, she's absolutely positively insane. If her red eyeballs or yellow slit irises didn't show how really crazy she is. Also, that laugh. God, that laugh is so crazy. Let's see. Next, major characters from other works in the Nasuverse together across Melty Blood. If you really want to be cute about it, and I won't even say it's a dream match, because Ryogi is there, I guess, and if you really want to be cute, yeah, it is kind of a dream match. Well, at least nowadays in Lumina, because you have Mash, you have Ushui for some weird reason, you have Saber, whatever. But at least in Actress again, you have Ryogi, which is a guest character from Kara no Kyoka. We've done a video on Ryogi. So the majority of characters in Melty Blood actually are Tatari manifestations, which I mentioned. Tsukihime characters play a pivotal role in the narrative, such as Tohno playing a supporting role as Sion. Sion, if she did this whole thing by herself, she wouldn't even gotten she would not have survived. Tohno is literally there just as a backup. He's a player too. He was kicking ass. He was Shion's backup. But if Sion did it alone, no. Sion again would have got gate kept. Really, really bad. It should be known that Sion would have failed without Tohno's help. Alko is there, but she's in the shadows. Her role as a pseudo-antagonist is not present in Melty Blood Actions again, because Alko in the other games was literally final boss. But we can go into more detail about other characters. I don't think I should go into more detail about the other characters. They can be their own separate video. Like, I would love to do a video on Roa. That'd be very crazy. Nero, like any of those characters. CL would be kind of all over the place though, because I'm very based about CL. CL is very weird. She was about to do some shenanigans to Tohno if you go off a certain win coin in Lumina. But we won't talk about that right now. But depending on how I feel about starting this narrative, I might go into details about certain characters, but I might just keep this just towards Sion, Vishion, and Wallachia, because they're the main aspects of Tatari. So we'll see. And we already gone over the conclusion. So I think we're pretty much good to go. So we're not starting this tomorrow. Tomorrow is Tuesday. So we'll start the narrative on Wednesday. This is again going to be a relatively short video once we're all said and done, about 10 minutes long, because this again should be just seen as an introductory thing. Maybe later on in life, the demand is high, I'll do a more in-depth narrative on Tatari. But this is the next Type Moon specific video, so bear with me. We'll get this done as soon as we can. Maybe by the 15th, this will be released. All right. Anyways, have a good rest of your evening. We'll see y'all later. Wednesday, we're starting on the narrative.